Hey everyone, welcome back to my podcast, Totally Not Unbothered. I'm your host, Alyssa, and as always, I am so happy to have you guys back or have you joining me for the first time. Welcome. Oh my god, I almost choked and died on my own saliva. Imagine how rough that would have been. Like, just dead on my podcast. Anyways, I'm okay. I promise I'm okay. If you guys are returning for episode 6, we have a very special guest here today. This is my baby girl. Her name is Misty, or Misty May, or Maybell. Oh, my baby girl. This is her first ever episode here, actually. She has yet to appear on Totally Not Unbothered, and I am happy to say and announce her as the very first guest on Totally Not Unbothered. Let's see if she has any words of wisdom for us. Do you have anything to say to the people? No, okay, nothing but judgment. Yeah. Can you guys see the side eyes that she gives me? That's like an everyday thing. Like does this look good? And she's just as sassy as me. Like the when people say like, "Oh, your dog is like your owner," like the dogs are like their owners. Clock that. Clock that. Because she is just like me. Just like me. But yes, she is here. She is relaxed. She is chilling. I hope she's here for the full episode. I don't think she will be, but fingers crossed because she just adds a level of like cuteness. Like little baby, she's so cutie. That she just adds that. And I'm just obsessed with her. I've had Misty since I was 16 years old. She was actually my 16th birthday present. I got her when she was 8 weeks old. As soon as she was able to leave her mom, she came to me. I just had an ADHD thought. I was about to be like, no, I'm not gonna go into that. I'm not gonna go into that. I'm gonna start like a playlist on Instagram or on like TikTok of like Alyssa's like ADHD thoughts during episodes. So we can just have like a little playlist of things that I'm thinking out loud but I don't say. Things that I'm thinking in my head but I don't say out loud. I've had her since I was 16. We've gone through so much together, and you guys will hear about our story and hear about our journey together because she truly is my soul dog. She's my best friend in dog form. Like this girl, I'm manifesting she lives forever. Like I'm manifesting it because she has to. She has to. Sorry, usually I don't open my podcast with how much I love my dog. I feel like I should though. Like that's a cute little intro. Like this is my baby. It's actually her podcast. If you didn't know that. Um Totally Not Unbothered was her idea. The podcast was her idea. She suggested it to me. Oh, she's actually sleeping. I think she might actually sleep the whole episode. Fingers crossed. Um it was her idea. It's her podcast. It's her message. I'm just the voice behind it. But yeah, this is all hers. And so I'm glad that I guess I'm the guest. I'm glad that the owner of the podcast is actually here with us today. So I hope everybody, wherever you guys are at, whether you're in your living room, in a car or anything, give it up. Give it up to Miss Misty May, Misty Maybell, little darling girl. And yeah, what an intro. What a long ass introduction to today's episode. And that wasn't even the intro. Don't you guys love me as your host? Put that in the comments. Drop a red heart if you love Alyssa. Or don't. That's okay. Anyways, so as usual, the weekly recap, because I know that's what you guys have been waiting for. So I just want to start by saying the same guy that I told you guys about 2 episodes ago, we're still texting. Now, okay, it's not like we text 24/7, but we've texted every single day for the past 3 weeks. Now, okay, mind you, we text like probably like 5 messages a day, 5 or 6 messages a day, but like he's texting me every day. Or am I just delusional? Does he want me or am I just Delulu? That actually used to be my nickname, Lulu. Don't call me that though. No. Only my dad is allowed to call me that. Please and thank you. Please. Thank you. Love you. Mwah. But yeah, or am I just a little bit delulu? I don't think I'm delusional. I think I'm realistic. I mean, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. He said he's going to watch my podcast. So, hi. Yes, I'm talking about you. Is that weird? Probably. Oh well, if you're in my life, you're probably going to be on my podcast at one point. I'm probably going to talk about you at one point. So, yeah, that's like just a little disclosure. Oh my god, I'm sorry. My ADHD brain is going off. It's going everywhere right now. It is literally going everywhere. So, let me try and come back to you guys. Okay. So, me and him are still texting. So, we'll see where that goes. If it goes anywhere, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed, you know. I'm hot. I'm a good time. So F it. F it, right? Right. I worked a lot this weekend at both of my jobs. As I told you guys last week, I think. Wednesday, the day episode 5 was released, was my very first day at my serving job, my first training day at serving job. It was super fun. People are super chill. I met a couple people, and it just seems like my kind of work environment. You know, I'm very family oriented. I love people who care about one another, who truly like enjoy each other's company, and that's the vibe it gives. So freaking that's just the vibe it gives. So I'm just so beyond excited to work there, to keep continuing to work there. And then, as you guys also know, tomorrow I leave for my trip to the East Coast. I'm so freaking excited. Ah! I have not been to the East Coast in in December was actually the last time, but that was kind of a rough visit. Some personal stuff was going on then, so it didn't really feel like it wasn't a fun visit, you know. It wasn't like a leisure kind of thing. So to be going tomorrow is just so exciting. The people that I'm staying with. I'm helping out there for a week and a half. The people I'm staying with, I met when I lived in Hawaii. I haven't seen them since I lived in Hawaii, which was about, I think last time I saw them I was 14. I'm 21 now, so I saw them 7 years ago, which is absolutely insane. Insane to think about. I saw them 7 years ago. Like, that's literally a whole like life cycle for your skin. Did you know your skin replenishes every 7 years? That's why your scars are able to lighten also. I don't know if that's scientific, so don't quote me on that, but it's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, so I'm super excited about that. We're gonna have so much fun. So also in regards to that, I will be staying there for a week and a half. So I will be recording an episode in on the East Coast. So if you guys see a different setup, do not be alarmed. I'm bringing my podcast equipment with me to the East Coast to get some recording done there. I'm excited to switch it up a little bit. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm gonna try and become more active on my Instagram so you guys can like see. Maybe I'll do like a day in the life. Oh shit, that's Misty barking. It's okay though. She calmed down, so yeah. But yeah, maybe I'll do like a day in the life so you guys can come along with me, and it'll be super fun and super good vibes. And yeah, but that was my week so far. I've just been working a lot. I'm still doing 75 hard, which still fucking sucks, in case you wanted to know. But yeah, so that's how my life's been. How has your life been, guys? Perfect. That was like I gave you guys silence so you could answer. So you could pretend that you're actually talking to me. I'm glad you guys are having a great day. But okay. So let's get into it. I do want to preface, I think I'm going to kind of go into this episode a little differently than I usually do. So usually I know I kind of just smoothly transition between everything I want to talk about. But this week, I want to try kind of like specifically breaking it up for you guys. So kind of like saying like section 1 or part 1 of what I wanted to speak about, part 2 about what I want to speak about, the third thing I wanted to talk about, and then kind of like do like the sub chapters or whatever. I'm not going to be like, oh, sub chapter, subheading, whatever. I'm not going to do all that shit because that's too much. Okay, that's too much. However, I am going to do like the parts and the sections. Okay, okay. So lately, the past week, I also forgot to tell you that I've been hanging out with my friends a lot. It's my two friends, and I love them so much, and they're so amazing. And they're actually here right now as I record this podcast. Um, they're not gonna pop in to say hi though, because I don't have another headset, and yeah, we're not gonna do that. But they are here right now. They're just hanging out while I record this. But yeah, I've been hanging out with them a lot lately. But it's really just like the three of us that hang out all the time. And it's actually really nice and it's really fun. But when we were hanging out and doing all that, I was just thinking to myself how, like, it's just the three of us, and three is a pretty small number. It's bigger than two, though, and one. Yes, Alyssa, that's how numbers work. But it's a pretty small number. And then I was thinking how other people have like a bunch of friends and have like 20 friends or like 50 or like even 10 is a big number. And okay, I'm not saying I don't have 10 friends. Actually, okay, I'm not going to say I don't have 10 friends. I don't know. We're not going to sit here and count on my fingers how many friends I have. That's that's a bit bizarre. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself and I'm realizing how small my friend circle actually is. And honestly, I'm also realizing that I love it like that. I love having a small, intimate friend group or just a small, intimate circle of friends because it's so nice. One, there's no drama, there's no anger towards each other, there's no like beef. It's just chill vibes, you know? And when you have a circle so small, you guys can really, truly trust each other and rely on one another. And so when they call me out, it's not like, oh my God, fuck you, you asshole. It's not like that. I mean, jokingly, it is. But it's not like it turns into like this big issue, you know? And so with that realization, it kind of also made me realize how society kind of emphasizes this idea that the more people you have in your life or the more friends you have equals a better life, but that is not always the case. And we are going to talk about that a little bit further into the episode. But before we get into the first thing I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to kind of reiterate why this topic was kind of sitting with me and heavy on my chest this week. Um, lately, I'm in a part of my life where I'm going into my senior year of college, and I feel like I don't have as many friends as other college students have, but that's okay. And it's not a negative thing, you know? And so as we go into the episode, I just kind of want you guys to remember that. Um, it's okay to outgrow people. It's okay to leave people. It's okay to keep your circle small and intimate for you. And we're going to go into that. So get your popcorn, get your emotional support water bottle. I actually don't have mine today. So that's unfortunate. And I don't have my chapstick. That's also unfortunate. But I have a squeaker toy. That's a squeaker. And I threw it. So I don't have a squeaker anymore. But yeah. So without further ado, let's be totally not unbothered together on the topic. Who you choose to surround yourself with matters. So guess what, bitch? You better choose carefully. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about is how your circle impacts you. If you think the people you surround yourself with to have no impact on you, you are a liar. You are lying to yourself, your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, and your dog, and your goldfish. You're a liar and your pants are on fire. So, that's all I have to say on that. But the reason why I'm saying this is because who you hang out with does impact you. And I'm going to tell you why I believe that. As always, you don't have to disagree. You don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me all you want. You can disagree with me till you're blue in the face. I don't really care. But I'm just a girl, and you clearly are going to listen to my opinions because you're listening to me right now. So, yeah. So, the reason I believe that people have an impact on who you are is because when you're around certain people, you absorb like the energy that they pick off or that they're like giving off, or you start saying the same things they say, or you start acting the same way they do. And we can all go back to episode was it episode 5? No. Yes. episode 5, I believe was episode 5. I've already like forgotten my episodes. I'm not going to lie. Episode 4 or 5, where I talked about impressing other people and how I changed who I was to impress others. How I changed how I acted. I changed how I was to people. I became mean. I became snarky. I became rude. I became a bitch. And I didn't just wake up one morning and was like, "Ooh, I'm going to act like this." It was the culmination of, I hope I used that word correctly, by the way, of being around these people who were portraying that attitudes and those mindsets in just that kind of energy in general. And I picked that up and I let that dictate who I was as a person and my personality and the type of person I wanted to be towards others. I, however, also want to acknowledge that not everybody is impacted by who they hang out with. I do want to preface that and I do understand that because some people do have a very strong sense of self, a very strong sense of who they are. And no matter how many times you hang out with somebody, no matter how many times you see them, you may not kind of be as easily impressioned as somebody else. So it also kind of just depends on yourself and how strong your sense of self is and how strong you're able to rely on your sense of self and you know truly who you are. But even in like the small, tiny little ways, that can still happen. I know for me, a very kind of like minuscule little example, one of my friends, she would always do the little like clock it. And this was before like everybody on like Love Island was doing it, but she did it and I kind of like picked it up and I started doing it. And then obviously like Love Island, everybody was doing it this season. And so it was really big and it really took off. And so now I do it even more. And so clearly, I obviously don't even know the cast of Love Island, but just something as simple as that, that is how impressionable our minds are and how easily influenced our minds are. So imagine if you're easily influenced by people you don't even know on a TV. Imagine how influenced you are by your friends, your family, the people you are seeing and interacting with 24 freaking 7. Exactly. Exactly. And the reason why this is so important is because people can have these impressions on you either in a negative light or in a positive light. I know for me, when I am around negative people or the wrong people, after seeing them and hanging out with them, I just feel so drained. I feel irritable. I am, like, I'm just like, like groggy. I just feel off. I do not feel myself. And it's so frustrating and so annoying. But on the opposite end, when I'm with the right people, you feel energized, you feel loved, you feel grateful, you feel grounded, you feel appreciated, you feel seen. I feel like my cup is full and I can go climb Mount Everest and I feel great. I feel great. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about because we all have those people who make us feel good and lift us up and you just feel so great around. And then we also have probably all experienced those other people who feel like leeches and they are quite literally sucking the life out of you. Yeah. Yeah. It sucks and it stinks. And so it is very important to note that the energy you allow in your space is the energy that you're going to carry with you. If you obviously surround yourself with these leeches, then that's the energy you're going to continue to have on your day to day life. But if you surround yourself with these people who fill your cup, who give you energy, who make you feel loved, seen, whatever that may be, and give you all these like positive feelings, that exact same energy is going to be carried into your life, into your interactions. Gosh, Alyssa, can you speak English today? And just in your friendships, relationships, anything. Okay? Okay. So, the next thing I kind of wanted to go into to dive into a little bit is learning when it's time to walk away from these friendships that drain you, from these relationships that drain you. Because when I say like I'm saying friendships, but it's not just friendships, you know, sometimes it can be family members, sometimes it can be a significant other, sometimes, you know, it can be honestly anybody. It doesn't just have to be friends. You know, if your parents are draining, it's okay to walk away from them. If your significant other isn't for you, please walk away from them. You know, nobody has a gun to your head saying you have to stay with this person. You have to allow them in your life. That is never the case. So I kind of want to guide me through, just us in general, when it's time to walk away. So the first thing I want to acknowledge is, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like, we all know like the things that we do deserve and we don't deserve, but sometimes it's also really hard to, we always have the idea like, oh, like if this person was doing that to me, I wouldn't let that happen. I would walk away. But saying that you would walk away and actually walking away, two completely different things. Two completely different things. So, a quick little story time with Alyssa, because I think those are everyone's favorite parts. So, in high school, I had this friend, and me and her, we were very close. She was one of my very, 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 very good friends. Okay? She was really good. However, there were some things that weren't so good with her. So, when it came to our friendship, some of the red flags in our friendship was when it came to hanging out, she never made plans. It was always me. It was always me asking, me wanting, me bugging, and it gets annoying. She only showed up when it was beneficial to them. When she was going to benefit from our friendship, that is when she showed up. That is when she made time for me. If it wasn't beneficial to her, fuck Alyssa. And that's how it was. They also made me look like the bad guy towards other people. And that looked like blaming me for things that I didn't even know about they were blaming me for, you know, instead of just talking to me. They also made excuses for bad behavior, for other people's bad behavior. And those people, the people that they're making excuses for, their behavior was affecting me. They didn't give a shit. They would make excuses for them, even if it was hurting me. And the kicker, one of the things that pissed me off so much, it felt as if they only listened to me when they wanted the tea or the scoop or the drama. That is the only time it felt like they cared, like they wanted to know what was going on, like they gave a shit. And let me tell you guys, it sucks. It sucks. I felt small. I felt unimportant. I felt used. I I didn't feel good. And I am the type of person that I forgive and I let people grow and learn and do that. And so I just kept hoping that she would change and she would change and things would get better, but they never did. And newsflash, you guys couldn't guess it, we're not friends anymore. We're not. And I want to preface by saying that I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I don't hate her. I hope she's doing great, and I hope her life is working out exactly how she wants it to. You know, it's just me telling you that I understand. You know, everything that I talk about is because I've been there. I get it. I truly, truly understand it. I'm not just talking out of my ass. You know, I would never say something to you and not mean it or have not been able to experience it. And so I do really just want to kind of preface that and let you guys know that if you are going through the same thing or if you've been through the same thing, like your feelings are valid, how you feel is valid, and that's fine, you know? And not everybody is gonna agree with that, but it is what it is, you know? It is what it is. So, Like I had said a little bit before, if you know me on a personal level, you are my friends, my family, whatever it may be, um, you know that like I said, I like to give people chances. I will give people 1,000 chances, and every single time I give one to them, I'm hoping that they'll change. I will forgive a person a million times, and I will continue to show up, you know? I'm not somebody who leaves you hanging. I am not. I show up, and I low key let people walk all over me sometimes, and I've learned that had to stop. You know, and if you guys are listening to this or you're hearing this and you're thinking to yourself, "Holy shit, sorry." You're thinking, "Oh my gosh, like I see a lot of myself in Alyssa, or I do that too, or I relate to that so much," then it has to stop. We have got to stop. And I know it's easier said than done. I get it. Because it is so hard to walk away from friends, relationships, family members, whatever the relationship may be that you're thinking about as I'm going through this episode. I know that it's not a piece of cake. I know that it's not something that you can easily walk away from. And I get that. I get that because when you think about relationships or your friendships or whatever, it's so easy to, I don't want to say romanticize, but it's so easy to think about those good memories, the times where were laughing till you peed your pants, or your amusement park days, or family game nights, or all of those good memories. It is so easy to let the bad times get overlooked, but that doesn't excuse the behavior. It doesn't, and it won't. I want to make it clear that it's okay to value those memories, to value those moments, to value those people, but you don't need to keep them in your life. And that's okay too. Just because you have history with somebody does not give them the right to be in your life ever. Okay? Because that brings us into the final little section of today's episode, protecting your peace. Okay? So, I just kind of went over what we don't want. You know, what we don't want from people, what we don't want people how we don't want people to treat us, what we don't want out of a relationship. So, let's switch it up and kind of talk about what do we want? For me specifically, I know the kind of friends I want in my life. I know the kind of people I want in my life. I want people who love me for me, that I don't have to change who I am to feel seen or to feel validated or to feel like I belong. I want people who are supportive of me and my decisions, no matter how dumb or crazy or stupid they are. I want people to stand behind me and support me no matter what. I want people who are understanding and understand my life and my decisions and my choices and the things I do and the things I say, and not make me feel bad or make me feel guilty for doing or choosing or saying the things that I do. I don't want to have to perform. You know, I don't want to walk out of my apartment and have to put on a mask in front of these people, because that's not how it should be. The biggest thing for me is I want these relationships. I want to be seen. I want to be seen, and every relationship I want to leave feeling more fulfilled. I want to leave feeling better. I want to leave feeling better off than when I first saw them or when I met them. If I go out with a friend to go get lunch or go get breakfast or brunch or whatever just to hang out, after I hang out with them, I want to have a pep in my step. I want the colors to seem brighter and life to seem just a bit happier. And that's what I want. I don't want to feel drained. I don't want to feel negative. I don't want those things. And that's good. That's good that I know what I want from people. And I hope you guys are sitting here listening and thinking to yourself, well, what do I want? from my friendships, you know? What do I want from the people in my life? Because at the end of the day, like I said, you need to protect your peace. You've got to. The only person who will ever 100% of the time protect your peace is yourself. So you have to do a good job of it. You have to. There is no if ands buts about it. You've got to do it. And for me, that means walking away when it's more draining than fulfilling. Like I said, that means setting boundaries and protecting my energy, keeping my energy sacred. That means to me, not allowing a billion people to have access to who I am, to my energy, to my vibes. And that's okay. Not everybody has to have access to it. Like, there is nowhere, there is nothing that states, oh, everybody needs to have access to Alyssa Marie Colwell. No, it doesn't state that anywhere. And if it does, screenshot that shit and send it to me because I'd love to see it. I'd love to. Can't? Okay, that's what I thought. So keep your mouth shut. Okay? Okay. So, like I said, one of my biggest things is setting boundaries. And that all starts with being direct. And if the people who love you and care about you and give you fill up your glass, like they will be okay with what you want. And if they aren't okay with that, then goodbye. For me personally, when it comes to friends or friendships, I've sat down with friends and I've talked with them and told them like, "Hey, this is what I need out of this friendship. Like, I need you to text me. I want you to hang out with me. Like, I want to feel like you care and like you give a shit about this friendship because when you don't, well, that kind of sucks and it makes me think like, do you give a shit about this friendship? Like, maybe you don't. Like, what is going on? You know? Like, and if my boundaries or what my wants and needs aren't like are too much for someone, that's okay. They are probably not meant to stay in my close circle. And that's fine. Not everybody you meet is going to be meant for you. I promise. I know we wish that every friend or relationship is meant for us, but unfortunately, that is not the case. And we will get into that right now. So, I just want to kind of go back to the beginning and let you know that it's okay to outgrow people. It's more than okay to outgrow people, actually. Outgrowing people doesn't make you a horrible person. It's normal. Sometimes our paths are different than others. Sometimes the timing is different. And that is okay. That's a part of life. Maybe your guys' paths will cross later down the line. Or maybe they won't. And that's okay. It's normal to evolve and grow. Okay? When I first went into therapy, I was 12 years old and I had an issue with people pleasing and I wanted to be everything for everybody and I didn't care about myself. I didn't protect my peace. I didn't do any of that. And my therapist, wait, no, I just lied to you guys. Actually, I was thinking about a different therapist. I'm sorry. I'm a liar. It's okay. No, I think it was like my third therapist. I don't know, guys. I've been through a lot, actually. I think it was my third. I don't know. That the logistics aren't important. So it was supposed to be just like regular like therapy, but my grandparents had passed away. So it was like a little bit of grief and then like a little bit of regular therapy. But during this one of the therapy sessions, one of my best friends at the time, we stopped talking. We stopped talking and she wasn't kind of being the friend that I needed her to be. And it hurt. It hurt a lot because I wanted her in my life. I wanted her to be the perfect friend for me. And I remember my therapist saying this to me, and it stuck with me ever since. And she said, Alyssa, Some people are here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I know we want everybody to be here for a lifetime. This is me talking, by the way, not my therapist. I know we want everybody to be here for a lifetime, but unfortunately, that isn't always the case. Everybody in your life has a purpose to serve. And once that purpose has been fulfilled, then sometimes that relationship is over. And that's okay. They did what they needed to do. They taught you what you needed to learn, and that's okay. Do not force people to be in your life because it is not worth it. Those people who are meant for a lifetime will find you. They will be there through thick and thin, through the ugly and the good. They will be your bridesmaids or your groomsmen or whatever it may be, your aunts or uncles to your future children or your godparents, whatever. They will be there when you're crying over a breakup or when you get engaged or when you find out you're having a kid or whatever. They'll be there. They will be there. My mom and her best friend are living proof of that. They have been friends for, I want to say, I'm trying to do the math in my head. I'm not very good at math. I want to say like 44 years. No, that sounds right. 34? No, I don't know. 30 to 40 years. They have been friends for 30 to 40 years. Or I could be completely wrong and my mom's going to yell at me when she watches this video. And that's totally fine. But they have been best friends for so long. They are the perfect definition of they are friends for a lifetime. They live in different states. They have two completely different lives. But they are there for each other when they need it. If my mom needed her best friend tomorrow, she would be there, and vice versa. So when I tell you that the people meant for you will stay, they will. They will. And if that's one person, or if that's 5, or if that's 10, then that's fine. You don't have to feel like you need to keep everybody in your life forever. Because guess what? That isn't the case. And so, out of everything that I just said, I know I usually give you guys takeaways. So, I don't this episode. I'm sorry. I'm switching things up a little bit today. But the biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this episode is the same thing my therapist told me when I was 16 years old. Some people are here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And you can relate that to literally anything. Relationships, family members, friendships, significant others, work, whatever. Okay? Not every person you meet in your life is a lifetime person. Some people are seasonal, some people are reasons, and that's okay. Let them do what they're supposed to do, and then let them go. It's okay if you have to let somebody go because they no longer serve your needs or your benefits or what you want out of a relationship. It doesn't make you a bad person for knowing what you need and want, and it doesn't make you a bad person for letting those people go if they don't serve you. It doesn't. It means you know who you are and you have a strong sense of who you are and who you need to be successful and to thrive. Because at the end of the day, you're the one living your life. And every single choice that you make affects who you are and affects the life you live. So why would you let people who aren't good for you stay in your life? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. Unless I'm just dumb. Which I could be. But I think in this sense, I actually know what I'm talking about. But as always, I'm just a girl. And do I really know anything? I don't know. You guys can figure that one out. So, before I let you guys go enjoy the rest of your Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or whatever day you're watching it, I want you to do a little something for me, and I hope you guys actually do it because I love reading them and I love seeing what you guys have to say. In the comments, I want you to answer who in your life leaves you feeling inspired, safe, and seen. And as always, I will answer for you guys. So for me personally, I have a bunch of different answers. When it comes to feeling safe, um, my dad. My dad leaves me feeling safe and protected and like I am okay, and I appreciate that because not everybody can provide that sense of security. And I love you, Dad, and I appreciate you so, so much, more than you will ever know and more than words will ever be able to express. When it comes to feeling inspired, there are a there are a couple people. Um, my little sister leaves me feeling super inspired. Um, she's an early college student and she has her first job and she's athletic training and she's a busy, busy girl and she probably gets it from me. But she's just doing so much and it is so amazing to see just all the things she's doing with her life. I feel like I could be here forever telling who inspires me. And then when it comes to who in my life leaves me feeling seen, I would have to give that one to my mom. My mom knows me better than most people. She can read my expressions very well. She can read my vibe very well. If I call her and my face looks off, she's immediately like, "Are you okay?" Um, she always makes me feel seen and makes me feel loved. And obviously, it doesn't have to be your family. I told you guys in like episode 1 that I'm a huge, huge, huge family person, and my family are my friends, and I love them to death. Oh, my older sister. I'm a horrible person. She also leaves me feeling inspired. She she continues to get life thrown at her, and she just continues to nail it and kick it in the ass. And I'm so proud of her, and I hope she does listen to this episode because I don't tell her that all the time. But I'm proud of you, and I love you, and I love all of my family. So let me know who in your life leaves you feeling inspired, seen, and safe. And before I go, I want to leave you with this: choose your people carefully, choose them cautiously, choose them well, because they help shape the version of you that you are becoming. They help shape future you. And if you want future you to be great, then current you needs to do a great job of picking the people you're with. So, that is all I have today. Sorry about Misty barking. My friends had came back and Misty was barking her butt off. And no, I'm not cutting that out of the video because we keep it real here. And I don't really want to edit a podcast, I'm not going to lie. So, yeah. But as always, I love you guys so, 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 so much. Thank you for sticking with me through like 45 minutes. I think this has been one of the longest episodes so far. So, thank you for sticking with me. I love you guys. And as always, get your rest, drink your water, and do something that makes you happy. I will see you next Wednesday in New Hampshire. But until then, have a great Wednesday or a great week, and I will catch you in the next one. Later, skaters.